I can hear him trying to get in. I'm not sure where he's trying to get in now. I'm expecting to see him pop through somewhere any minute here. And then, I've been thinking about it. What are your options when a squirrel moves into your cabin like this? Because they do, and they don't want to leave. I mean, this is probably the same squirrel that was in this cabin when the first summer we came up, and he's been here for who knows how long, however long squirrels live. But once one invades your space, he's just going to keep coming back. And then if you trap him and deport him successfully, then another squirrel is going to come. So it occurred to me, your options are live trap and deport him, shoot him, or maybe there's a third option. What if you adopt this pest and make him your pet? And you feed him on purpose and you get to know him and kind of tame him. And then he's the resident squirrel. So no other squirrels are going to move in, and you could train this guy to not tear up your insulation and stuff. I wonder if this is a thing. I'm going to have to research that and see if anybody else has done that. Because in some ways it makes sense. All right, I got my little abode all put back together. Much better, much neater, much tighter. The only thing that's really gappy now is the door. So yeah, the gappy door is the main offender now, and that will be the next thing I work on. There's all kinds of stuff that's like half stapled around it. What I'm going to do is this random piece of foam that Jack and I accidentally brought up a couple of years ago. And we used it in the bus to hold the stovepipe in place when we were going down the bumpy road.
On this rough road, this highway, we've had a lot of vibration, as you can probably tell. Namely, our stove came apart at the top, so I had to take my jump rope and tie it up, and this extra piece of foam that we were sorry we brought along instead of leaving it home actually came in handy. Looks like it's hopefully going to stay.
And we've ended up using it as a backboard when we were in bed, and this thing has lived many, many lives. It's just a piece of a mattress. But its new life is going to be, I'm going to cut it into strips and nail it around the door and insulate these things. So that is my next project. I am ready to start caulking, but I'm not ready to start caulking. I'm going to wait till tomorrow probably because I'm tired. I did a lot today already, and I just got to chill. This will probably be the other thing that I take on today. A little later. I'm going to rest for a while, have some lunch, kick back, maybe do some editing or something. Just got to chill. But everything looks better. It's better, it's tighter, it's neater, cleaner. Just better. Getting her done. There he is. He's out there. He's pissed. He's trying to get in. I can see his little head. He's trying to get in around the door. Bet he's gonna try to get in on top. Where'd you go, you little jerk? I don't see him anymore. Now there's a little spot right there he could probably push through. Little squirrels like that can get into really small spaces. Oh, I hear him again. He's looking in the window. Hello, Newman. You can't come in anymore, dude. This is my den. It's not your den. It's my den. He's thinking about it. He's thinking, why is this happening? Look at his little hand gripping the window thing. Yeah, you're pretty friggin' cute, you little jerk. What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now? And what are you gonna do now? He's gotta think on it. So I'm actually cooking myself some dinner tonight. I have some cabbage and some carrots and some onion, and these things just got to be used because they're getting old and I don't have a refrigerator, obviously. So I'm making one of my favorite little things that I also make in Oregon. Once I discovered this recipe, I make them a lot, and I made it a lot last summer because, as I've explained before, cabbage and carrots and onions and potatoes and things like that are the things that keep pretty well without refrigeration up here. So first, I want to share this with you guys so you can see. Some people have said, what do you eat up there? Diced little onion. I'm going to grate a couple of these small carrots. And then I'm going to finely chop some cabbage. And then I will get back to you with the rest of the recipe. I will do this part right now. You know, I can't get over that French press. I call it the French press miracle in my head, that I broke my French press. And of all the things in the world John happens to have in the cabin down there that's been sitting there for years, I mean, it was so covered with dust it looked like it was wooden when he first brought it out. And it's got a Goodwill sticker on it, so this is clearly something that somebody randomly picked up for him years ago, but he's never used it. He does the pour over thing. So the fact that he had one sitting there waiting to be used truly feels like a miracle. I mean, I can't get over it. It's just too lucky. Okay, that should be enough carrot. And I don't measure things in this recipe. It's just, it's a down-home kind of just throw the ingredients together kind of thing. And I'm making a smaller one than I usually do because it's just for me. Yeah. Is this my cabbage or my lettuce? Can't tell anymore. That's the lettuce. Now, not so good. Alright, here's the cabbage in question. Chop it fine. First gotta cut the nasty edges off because it's been sitting around for a couple of weeks. So at this juncture we have our grated carrot, diced onion, finely chopped cabbage in a bowl. Now I'm going to add probably just one egg. Sometimes I gotta kind of play it by ear. Sometimes you might need 2, sometimes you might need 3 if you're making a great big one. It's really just to moisten it up and give it some cohesion, help it stick together. And then you add a little flour. So there's an egg. Let's start with 1. See where that gets us. And then just, the recipes usually call for like 1/3 of a cup of flour or something. This is a small one. I'll just try that. Yeah. I don't know how you can open a flour bag without getting flour everywhere. One of the great mysteries of life. Okay, so I'm going to mix this. See what kind of consistency we got. We might need another egg, because that egg is just disappearing in here. I think it could do with another egg. Can't hurt. Another egg and some salt and pepper, and voila. That's about all you do. Yeah, that'll make it nice and sticky. Let's add just a little more flour too now. Now I feel like a whole nother egg might have been a little much. So let's give it a little more flour, just a little dab, a little shake. There we go. Everywhere. All right. Now, a goodly dose of salt and pepper, especially pepper. I don't have good pepper grinder up here, so I just picked up cheap salt and pepper at Cubby's that first time I went shopping, and it's subpar. But at least it smells good and fresh, to be honest. It's got some nice pepper smell. Okay, a little salt. And there we go. It's ready to cook, and you just cook it in a pan, put a lid on it, let it cook, and then flipping it can be the really tricky part. We'll see how we're going to figure that out when we get there. Can we see the stove? Yes. I'm trying to get the flour bag to hold up the camera for me. It's an iffy proposition. Okay, that's gonna have to do, because the pan's getting really hot. Here we go. Okay, you put it in, and then you just flatten it out, make it round. You can also do these in patties, which might be a wiser thing, because as you'll see, to flip the whole thing can be a daunting thing. Okay. Alrighty, it's in there, it's cooking. Made a mess. Okay, so I let it cook pretty hot for just a few minutes or a minute or two. I don't know how long. And then covered it so it could cook through a little bit. Now let's check the bottom. It's pretty easy to mess up and burn these things. Ooh, that looks perfect. Look at that. It's got kind of a crunchy gold bottom. Okay, so it's ready to flip, and that's the hard part usually. I think I'm just going to... Typically, when you've got a big, a pan-sized cabbage pie, what you do is either use the lid or a pan or a plate or something, put it over, and then flip the frying pan, and then slide it back into the frying pan, if that made sense. This one's pretty small, and it's got a pretty good crust on it. I'm just going to try a one-handed spatula flip, and let's see how that goes. Oh, flawless! Yay! For the win! Woo! Now we'll cover it up again and let it cook for a few more minutes till it's kind of brown on that side, and it should be perfect for consumption. Okay, as you can see from the pie chart, I have tasted it. This is the portion of the pie I have not eaten. And it seems to be done. So, not bad. I should have put more salt. Alright, I'm going to put this puppy on a plate and go eat it. So you can basically take this recipe and do whatever with it. it's like a template. You know, you can put potatoes or peppers or different seasonings, make it a Southwest cabbage pie or whatever. This came out good, but I didn't put enough salt. At home, I have a bowl with kosher salt in it, and I do by feel. You know, I grab pinches, and I don't quite have the shaker thing down yet. So, but other than that, it's very good. And you too can make cabbage pie at home. All right, good morning. John wants to take another stab at that Clear Creek Trail again, and I want to go at least as far as the trail cam out there and swap out a card, see if we got anybody. Excuse me. I'm gonna walk from this point because riding on this rough trail is gonna kill my lower back. It's much easier to be the driver than the rider. So he's gonna ride all the way up to where we saw those trees that were downed. There's like 3 big spruce. He's got Steve's vehicle today, which has 4-wheel drive, which will make it easier. And he's bringing the chainsaw and just gonna start cutting out those trees. So I'm gonna walk behind him. Just found a bungee cord. Put this where we'll see it on the way back. Okay. And I will swap out the trail card and see if we caught anything. It's been up now for, geez, over a week. Oh, what a trail. Yeah, it's getting better though, just from us having gone over it a couple times with the ATVs. Here we go.
Don't want to turn back though.
Yeah, well, I'll see how good my boots do if I can at least get to the trail cam, which is like right up ahead, right?
Okay. No, we're
I think it's pretty close. I'll try.
Come on. Well, I'll ride it. It's right up here.
Go ahead. No, I got rain boots on.
You got rainbows?
Yeah. Seeing how deep this is. Oh yeah, it's not too deep. I can get through this with my $10 rain boots, no problem. Of course, there's the option of walking on the side. Yeah, it's not bad. So I'm gonna get the card and turn around.
Right.
Good luck.
I might not be able to get across the town, but we'll see how it
Okay. Well,
goes. Turning right around.
all right. Yeah, it's pretty flooded out. Wow. Yeah, he may just have to turn right around too. Oi. Yeah, it's been, last couple days have been just, once again, just pounding rain. So, that's the way that goes. Stymied by the rain, again, even though it's not raining today. All right, I'm gonna grab this trail cam card, swap it out, and go back and look at it. All right, it is pretty deep. There's a couple of spots that almost came up over my boots. Yeah, it's been heavy rain, hard rain. It's gonna fall. Okay. Not too bad. Very wet. All right. I just confirmed that my $10 Value Village rain boots do not have leaks. So this has been a worthwhile adventure just for that sense of security. Woohoo. It's a good day to be dry. Well, this is very exciting. I'm super excited to announce that we have a bear on the Clear Creek trail cam. I'm checking it right now. There's that guy. I'll load these clips, obviously, and really show you. He went that way. Then he went that way. Then he went that way again. And then he went that way. Oh, nope, that's Chewy. Yeah, we got some good clips of Chewy. That's for sure. Okay, now we also got, just to illustrate to you how difficult it is to get these cameras right. See, we got the penis of a moose. Definitely a bull, that one. So way too low for the moose, and yet kind of too high for the bears. So hard to get a happy medium on these cams, and really good for Chewy. All right. We are getting stuff on these trail cams. I do not think that's Brutus. I think that's a young Grizz. It's smaller. But John will know. As soon as he gets back, I will show him these clips, and he will know if that's Brutus or not. I don't think so. Looks way too small, way too young. But we'll see what the expert says. Woot, how fun. So here's another one of those amazing epiphanies, one of those amazing coincidences that just keep happening that amazes me. I told you yesterday I was going to take this random piece of foam that Jack and I accidentally brought up a couple of years ago and make padding to insulate around the door. And then I realized, well, I need some kind of cloth to cover that, and, you know, take the strip of foam, nail it up there, and then put cloth over it, something strong that'll hold it and round it a little bit so the door will close without catching on the corners of the foam. So I've been racking my brains. Where am I going to get a piece of some kind of cloth? It's got to be like a heavy canvas or wool or something like that that won't just shred. I thought, oh, naga hide, but then I thought, well, when it gets really cold, that'll just crack and fall apart. So I'm thinking it has to be some kind of canvas would probably be really good. Where am I going to find something like that? And then my eye fell on this. This is a hammock that I bought years ago in Oregon and never used it down there because I never had a place to hang it. I brought it up here just because it's like, well, maybe I'll use it up there. But in reality, hammocks aren't big up here because if you can lay outside in a hammock, you're probably going to get eaten to death by bugs. So I haven't used it up here yet. And then my eye fell on this morning when I was having that, what am I going to use to cover the foam around the door? And this is perfect. I mean, it's like a heavy, canvasy kind of cloth, and it's pretty. It's going to look really nice. So now my challenge, and there's plenty of it, it'll be the perfect amount. It's strong. It's just like, another one of those, why did I bring this? And now I know why. What I don't have is scissors. I'll ask John if he's got some, but I doubt he does. I might have to get out my Swiss Army knife and see if those little scissors would work. But anyway, I'm just thrilled. I mean, I'm going to be able to make just a nice, handsome padding around the door. So that's really cool. Last night I also had a great idea. After buttoning up this place so well as far as just fixing all the big holes or plugging them with something, and the door still being the bad one, you know, and it was drafty. The wind was coming from that direction last night, and I could really feel it. And then I realized, I should have realized this many nights ago, that if I take my big fuzzy robe and I hang it here, voila! And so that made it much cozier in here last night. So that's what I will continue to do until I get this cut. I'm so stoked. I love it when stuff like that happens. It just makes you feel like you're in the right place at the right time and things are coming together. And here's the really exciting thing. These Swiss Army knife scissors work great. They work like butter. I mean, maybe because they're so sharp. I thought this was going to be like impossible to do with these tiny scissors. Ah, it's so exciting. I thought I was stymied on that door project, but no! Full steam ahead. That's great. And it's also nice because there's straight lines to follow. I don't have to worry about completely messing up the cut because I have these lovely lines to follow. Oh, it's so much fun. Everything happens for a reason. I bought this hammock all those years ago, not knowing how incredibly valuable it would be for a completely different purpose. It's amazing. So I'm using a knife to just kind of fillet this in half, or not quite half. It's kind of squishy because it's memory foam, but it's working. All right. Progress. I like it. So one of the tricky aspects about doing this is that you can see that the gap it varies a whole lot. It's really thin in spots and it's really thick in spots. So I'm thinking, since this is memory foam and it's so squishy, the approach I'm going to take is do this. And I'm going to adjust this. Okay. I'm going to nail the cloth and the foam on the inside and then adjust the thickness of the foam by how tight I nail the other side of the cloth. Does that make sense? The spots where it needs to be thicker, I'll make the cloth looser so that the foam expands. And then where it's really thin, I will nail it really tight. I think this may work. My dad used to just take rags, and I mean, as you could see, that there was just all kinds of crap. And to the door, and the door for anything he could find, he would just tack up there till the hole was closed. It was totally about function, not form. So, I'm going to try that approach. We'll do this long ways first. You can see it's really, really big gap at the bottom. So that spot, you know, I won't make the cloth too tight. But I'm thinking that just by doing it that way, I can kind of make it adjustable. Does that make sense? We'll see. Nothing to lose. Well, Chewy's back, but I don't hear if John's back or not. So now, of course, I'm getting paranoid that he had an accident out there. I'm going to go check, see if he's back. One of the things about life out here is that you're just kind of always poised for emergency. I can also just add more nails where it needs to be thinner. So, yeah, I think this is going to work. And it's going to look pretty spiffy, too. If you can make your function have out if this concept is going to work. I can always still mess with it. So let's see what happens. Now, I got the bottom all buggered up there, so that's going to be a problem. Oh yeah, that's going to be sweet. Uh-huh. Oh man, I am so impressed with myself. That's going to be tight. Snug as a bug in a rug is what my dad used to say. And it's going to look really nice too. I mean, you know, cabinly speaking. Once again, it's not Pottery Barn, it's Poverty Barn. But, alright, that's going to look great. Very pleased. I will have this done today. Whoop. Alright, well, I was super proud of myself, but then I went outside and saw that the door wasn't actually closing all the way. So now I'm putting in more nails on the really fat parts. It was just too fat still. So tamping it down more. All those spots that are really fat and fluffy. Just making them more upholstered. And unfortunately a nail on the door already ripped my beautiful thing. Okay. So, yeah, I'm adding a bunch more nails so I can be really full of regret if I have to take them all out and start over again. This seems to be it's looking like it's going to work, so let's see. Okay, so I ended up having to take a few nails out of the bottom part because I didn't leave it fluffy enough, and then add more. So after careful analysis and precision hammering and Chewy's expert supervision, it's tight, but the door closes now. And it closes good and tight and all the way, or pretty much all the way. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll see how it wears. Now I'll just do the one on top. And it's snug, but dang, I think it's gonna work. What do you think, Chew Ball? My buddy. I love you. He just wants his ears rubbed. That's all he wants. Oh, so good, huh? Alrighty, I did the top and the side. It's not perfect, but it's good and it wedges nice and tight. And now the most important thing that I can do to improve this door is oil the fucking hinges! Excuse my French. So I'm just going to take a little vegetable oil, pour it into the hinges, because I don't have anything fancy like WD-40. Alright. Hopefully it'll get in there. That sound is making me a little cray-cray every time I open the door. Alright, let's see. I can open the door. Get in there, baby. Oh, that's already so much better. I can take a little creak. This one still has a little bit. Okay, let's see. Oh God, that's so much better. Yes, bit by bit, it's coming together. Thank you, powers that be. And oh yeah, you hear that generator running? I started it. One pull. It's been a very good day. I'm tired now. I hear Newman complaining in the woods back there. he hasn't been able to get in. He didn't come in last night or this morning or the night before. So I think I've plugged all his entryways, and he's not happy about it. But back to what I was saying. It's been a really good day. It started off with going with John down to the Clear Creek Trail and checking that trail cam, finding some really good grizzly clips. Not great. A little too high for the bear, but I caught most of it. And of course we got the soon-to-be very famous moose penis clip, because it was too low for the moose. But we know it was a bull, that's for sure. And then I just got a lot done. I got the door insulated, which was great, realizing I could use that hammock, and that was solved the problem of where am I going to get the piece of cloth. Once again, serendipity in action. I charged all my stuff. I took my power pack down to John's and plugged it in, because I was thinking, oh, I don't want him to have to hassle with my generator today. But then I thought, a little later, I was thinking, well, all my little devices need to be charged too, and if I plug those into the power pack is going to be drained right away, blah, blah, blah. The power pack doesn't pack a whole lot of power. It's a small one. So I said, well, I might as well give my generator a try. And it started in one tug, so that was great. I ran it for a couple hours, charged up all my stuff so I can just relax and work and not worry about running out of out of juice, as we say. And yeah, other than that, oh yes, and I finished getting all my saplings down that I've been working on. So my view of the south end of the lake from inside the cabin is much, much clearer. And there's a lot of happy trees there because they're not going to be choked by the saplings. And the weather. I mean, it hasn't been raining, and we even got some sun. So there's all kinds of reasons it's been a good day. And I'm going to have a cup of tea. In a little bit, I'm going to make myself some dinner and just have a really relaxing evening. And it's so nice to have a break from the rain, but sonically, it gets so loud. I mean, it's not as loud as it was when we were in the tent. I mean, that was almost became like sound torture, because it was so relentless and it was so loud, and went on and on and on and on. I've had some days here where even in the cabin it's a little bit like, ugh, you know, can I get a break? But today it's so silent and lovely. Swans are over there happy. Newman is back there complaining. Hear him? Sorry, Newman, you've been officially evicted. The weather has been crazy today. It's just switched back and forth between rainy and stormy and windy, and then it gets really still and it gets a little bit sunny, and then it'll get rainy and stormy and windy again, and now we have a mix of it's kind of sunny but it's really windy. It's very beautiful. I mean, this is just looking out of my dining room window, and it's just gorgeous. The water's sparkling like that, and the clouds are very dark. Back there's some dark slate colored clouds. Yeah, it's wild weather. It's supposed to start getting nice tomorrow. I mean, like for a consistent stretch of weather, of good weather. So that would be lovely, going into town tomorrow. So the timing would be perfect. Wow, that's so pretty. I hear Newman out here raising a fuss. I gotta have a word with that dude. Where are you, you little jerk? Oh, there you are. You and I have to have an understanding, dude. You can't keep me awake all night. This is my house, it's not your house. No, you just can't come in anymore. You gotta stop it. You have officially been evicted. I don't care if you still have a stack of crackers on the rafters. Yeah, and what else? You're not gonna win this fight, dude. He's saying, haha, yeah, you're leaving. He's gonna give himself a heart attack. Newman, think of your blood pressure. He's way up there. At night I hear him land on the roof and then scurry around and try to get in. Last night he figured out that it's only paper in the rafters and there's no problem getting past that. And I knew he would. There's really nothing I can do about those spaces. And there, I think, is another space that I need to block. That might be where he was coming through last night. I'll block that right now. It's just amazing how they're so close to Chewie and Chewie's so close to them. And they're just coexisting in beautiful peace and harmony. Boy, it pays to look out the window.